In this video, we are going to see everything about Java from basics to intermediate, as you can see over here as well. And what would be the agenda of today's discussion. So let me zoom in. This would be the agenda of today's discussion. Like, we'll see the basic discussion about Java, and then we will see the technical implementation of Java. We'll take a look at how you can set up your environment. We'll write your first code in Java, and then we will talk the different various aspects about Java, that what are the different things: variables, data types, loops, conditionals, functions, methods, everything. I'll keep it till there only, like I'll keep it till functions and methods, because keeping everything in one video will be long form of content, and I don't want it. So yeah, this would be the today's discussion agenda, and these are the topics that would be covered. That is internal implementation of Java. We'll write our first code, that is of hello world, that every new programmer, when come to the programming world, they kind of write this code, that is hello world. Then we will see what is variables and constants and data types and conditionals and loops and functions and methods. I'll keep this tutorials topic still here only, but if you'll want that if you'll want that I should teach something more related to the Java and things, like more about like time complexity, space complexity, recursion, and more topics of DSA and things, so you can let me know in the comment section, and I'll make more videos on it. That's what I have written over here as well. I'll share codes, notes, assignments, everything in description. You can go to the GitHub repository, note, codes and assignments in the description, so you can check that thing out as well. And you would have everything that you need. Like you would have video tutorial, you would have notes, you would have assignments, you would have codes. You can check it out. You can check out everything, and you just need to give your time to learn things and to explore things on your own and everything. There would be one suggestion as well for you guys. Don't just sit for there would be some video tutorial that I would watch and learn things. Go search it on Google, search things on Google. I'll let you guys started with the Java stuff, and I'll show you how you can start with implementing Java. I'll let you download the editors and everything, Java development kit, and I'll let you write your first code, teach you some basic stuffs, and maybe make some program like calculator program and whatever in this video only, and we'll see the basic implementation of Java, that how Java works, and else I want you guys to explore on your own, because till the time you're not exploring on your own, you will not learn things, because coding is not something which is theoretical. It is practical based education, and till the time you're not getting some hands-on experience on coding stuff, you'll not get familiar to it. And this is the best way to learn the coding actually, that you are having a practical knowledge, having a practical knowledge on every part of implementation of your code and your things that you're doing in coding, and yeah, that's how you're going to learn it. That's what I said over here as well. If you would want more to learn from me, I'll keep making videos on different topics, and don't worry, I'll provide code, notes and assignments in description as well. And here I have wrote some of the pointers about the internal implementation of Java. We'll discuss it definitely, for sure. But first of all, I would want you guys to download IDE and JDK, so that you can write your code and compile your code. JDK will compile your code, and what these terms are, don't worry about it. What is IDE, what is JDK, what is compile, what is everything I'll discuss later on. Give me some time. First of all, let's discuss about IDEs, right? So this is a main component of your coding part, because this is the place and this is the workspace, you can say, where you will write codes on your native language. Like what our native language is English. So we write kind of code in IDEs in our native language, and what compilers does is that it converts that code that we written into the machine language. What is machine language? You might know that is 0 and 1. Computers don't understand English. If you write, hey, I'm Rohan, it would not understand. Instead, the compiler will convert that English language, that hey, I am Rohan. There is a code, binary code for every characters, every words in our computer science. So as I was talking about IDEs, let me first tell you about the IDE. What is the full form of IDE? Full form of IDE. So IDE basically stands for Integrated Development Environment. Now what it does, it is basically a workspace where you'll write your code. It is a place where you'll edit your code, write your code in Java, in any languages. IDE is not specifically to Java. It is like a workspace where you kind of write code in any particular language, and it gives you a lot of features with it that you can use to enhance your coding experience. There used to be code editors as well, but there you will not get those features that you get in the IDEs. And here we are going to use IntelliJ as an IDE for our Java development. And now let's talk about the JDK one. What is JDK that I was talking about previously? So JDK is nothing but it stands for like Java Development Kit, and it is a package that contains every component that you will need to code in Java. That's it. Java Development Kit is a package provided by the Oracle.com. That is a company that maintains Java code and things like that. So it basically provides a package that is JDK, which contains every component, every libraries, frameworks, whatever you will need to code in Java. You'll find it there in the JDK, Java Development Kit. So we would need to download two things here. One is IDE, that is IntelliJ. Other one is JDK that we are going to download from the official website of JDK. So let's do it one by one. Here you can just write download IntelliJ. First of all, we will download our IntelliJ, and then we will download our JDK, right? Here, when you will write this download IntelliJ, or you can write you can write download IntelliJ, and you will the first website that you will that will appear over here. You can download IntelliJ from here, and you need to download this IntelliJ thing as per your OS operating system. If you are in Windows, I'll show you how you can download for Windows, and if you are from other OS, you can download it as per your OS. For now, if you are here in this page, you need to download this community version. If Ambani is not your father, you would wanna download this community version, because this ultimate version is a paid version, and as you can see over here as well, that it is a 30-day free trial version, and after that they will ask for money from you guys. So yeah, if you don't wanna put some extra money in for IDEs, if you have a lot of monies that you can spend in these parts as well, so you can definitely download this one. But if you don't wanna put money, then you need to download this community version. That's it. You can download it from here. You need to download this exe file, and then your downloading will be started. You need to download it, and then once it will be downloaded, you need to just install it. Okay, installation part is something that I don't think I need to show you, because you are from computer science background. Even if you're not from computer science background, you know how to use computers, then it's not something that is very big issue for you guys, that you can do installation on your own. Now let's download our JDK thing. First, download it. Now you need to install it first. Install it, make basic setups. Don't open the IntelliJ now. I'll show you how to open it and how to make projects and everything. For now, just install it and keep it closed. And just come back to the Google and just type here download JDK, right? Here on the oracle.com, this is oracle.com, here you will find different versions of JDK as per your operating systems as well. As you can see here that if you are on Linux, you can download it from here. If you are on Mac OS, you can download it from there, and if you are from Windows, you can download it from here. Which one you have to download? You have to download this as per your bits, that whatever the bits your system contains, you need to download according to that, and you'll just have to click on this link and you'll get done with it. You need to download this one as well. Right now the JDK version is 21. You need to download the latest version, and yeah, you're pretty much done with it. You just download it, you install it. You downloaded IntelliJ, installed IntelliJ, downloaded JDK, installed JDK. Now the third thing is to set the path to your system environment, that okay, I want to use this JDK in my system. And to do that, once you will get downloaded with the and installed one you're done with the installation process of this JDK and IntelliJ, everything, you will find a particular stuff in your C drive that is like bin folder in your JDK folder, and you need to just set the path till that folder in your system environment. I show you how to do that. So you just need to open the C drive. You need to open the C drive, and inside the C drive users, and here, no, not here, in the program files or somewhere, you would find this Java folder JDK 20, and this bin folder is something that we need to provide path till, right? Or maybe till here. You can just copy this path. You can open here environment variables. You can add an environment variable. You can go to this path section and just say that edit, and you would wanna, I have already defined the path. I will not gonna do that again, but you can do this. Why doing this? That you have to click to this new button, and then you will just add this path as like this, right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm already done with this, so I'm not gonna do that. Once you're done with it, click on OK, click on OK, click on OK, and if you wanna see whether it is properly installed in your system or not, you can just say Java version, right? So you can see here that whatever the JDK version your system will whatever the JDK version you will download, it will appear over here. If it appears over here, congratulations, you have downloaded properly and installed properly the JDK one. And if it didn't, then watch the tutorial again, and I can't help it now. Yeah, you're done with the basic setup, and now let me show you how to make new projects and write some hello world project, hello world code. And once you're done with it, I'll show you the internal implementation that I have wrote over here. This is, I'll discuss this with you, then I will move on to variables and data types and everything. So let's kind of first start just close it and start the IntelliJ that you downloaded. Once you open the IntelliJ, the first UI would be this, and don't worry, these are the okay. Don't worry about these projects. These are the projects that I have already. Don't worry about these projects. These are the projects that I have already worked on, and if you are new to IntelliJ, there would be no project listed over here. So don't worry about it. You have to start a new project. You just have to get here on the new project section, and here you just need to write the name of the project. Suppose we kind of write it like Java and DSA, and we set the location of this project to our E drive, suppose, right? We set that location to our E drive, and we clicked on OK. The language is Java. You can change different languages as well, and you can add new languages as well. You can add a Git repository to it. I'm not going to get into that detail right now. You can set the JDK version that you have downloaded. Suppose you have downloaded the different versions of the JDK, like JDK 17 and 16 and 21, whatever 20, then you can select it from here only. Yeah, now you just need to create the project. It's that simple. Now the project has been created and you have some basic syntax as well over here, right? Now what is this main, what is this public static void main, what is this hello world, what is the system.print and ln and everything. I'll show you everything right here. Let me first make you guys comfortable with these UI and everything. So IntelliJ is something that I will not go into detail of, because IDEs are not permanent. These kind of changes all the time, so you need to explore these things on your own. I'm gonna show you the basic of Java and everything. I'll show you that what is this main.java. I'll tell you about that. So first of all, let's now, okay, let's start the discussion, the basic discussion that we are here for. You made a project, right? You gave a name Java DSA, that you can see over here as well. That is Java DSA. What is this? This is nothing but a folder in your system, as you can see over here as well. If you go to your E drive, you can see here that there is a Java DSA folder, right? This is a Java DSA folder, you can see here. And this folder will contain all the codes that you will write, all the files, all the packages you will write and you will make in this project will come under this folder, this Java DSA folder. Okay, project name is nothing but a folder that contains all the files and packages and codes that will be inside that project, right? Point number one that we did. Now, what is this main? Main is nothing but a file. What is file? This is a place where you kind of write your codes, right? Okay. Now, how to make a new file? Suppose you want to make a new file, you would want to go to this src, click right, go to the new section, click on Java class, and what is class is and things I'll tell you in a while. Let me first write a hello world.java. Cool. So this is a new file that we created right here, hello world.java. Now to make a Java file, you need to use this .java extension. That's how computers will know that okay, this is a Java file and codes written in this file are of Java language, right? Now as you made a file that is hello world, you can see here that something predefined already written over here, that is public class hello world Java. Now what is this public class hello world? I'll tell you about the classes. Public is just an access modifier, right? There are 4 types of access modifiers in general, that is public, protected, private, and default. Understand this way. You kind of have suppose some resources and you want to give access to those resources. You want to control the access of these resources, suppose. Now you can control it in such a way that you can protect those resources from the outside world. You can make it public as well. You can give those that resource to anyone in public, and you kind of use different modifiers, access modifiers, that I want to keep this. That is what happening over here as well, that it is saying that just that this class hello world is public to any other packages. Like you can access this class in any other different folders as well. Like for example, src is a folder, right? Now if you'll make a new folder over here now, like suppose you kind of make a new directory over here, name as something like main directory or whatever. So now if you want to access this class now inside this package, you can access it because the access modifier defined here is public. But if you do it private, right? If we do it private, it will, it is showing error over here because it is saying that main class cannot be private, otherwise it will not be accessed outside the package. But we want this, the main class should be accessed outside the packages as well. So we just type of keep this public, and inside this class, if I kind of make any other class, like suppose I make a Rohan class or something, then I can keep it private as well, right? We can keep it private as well. We cannot keep the main class as private class, right? Because we want to access in other packages. Packages is what? Packages are just folder, right? These are the folders that contains kind of files. Okay, Java files. It contains Java files. Like as you can see here, SRC is also a package. You can go to this. You can see here, it is a package and it is a folder inside your computer. That's it. It will contain every single file that you will write in your IntelliJ. Cool. Now, yeah. What is this class? So it is a part of OOPS, but if I would say what is this class now, understand it this way, that there's a human class, right? Human class. Inside the human class, there is object Rohan, whatever you name, Rahul, Sohan, whatever it is, Mayank, Shivam, Shubham, whatever. So these are the objects of that human class. Like we are the physical entity of that logical construct. Classes are just a logical construct. It's kind of a template that you use for different of values, right? Suppose there is a form that you want to fill to get selected in the kabaddi match happening in your college and whatever. There would be a template of that form, right? Your name section and your standard section, your college name section and whatever. Okay? You will use, different people will use different values. Would have different values, like name section. Name would be different for different people, but the template would be same. Name section would be there. So that name section, that template is just a class that you kind of use for different of values. Just understand till here only. Classes are that. Classes are logical construct. It's kind of template that you can use to make a physical entity, and you can put different of values inside that template to make a different of objects of that class. Now you don't need to get in detail into just classes and objects, because this is a part of object oriented programming. If you would want, you can let me know in the comment section. I will discuss about it as well. But for now, just we want to get started, and we want to get our foot inside the world of this programming. So we will not get into these details much, because then it would be overwhelming for you guys as well. Okay, now we need to implement our code, whatever we will write. We kind of implement code inside a function. Okay. Now, what is function? So, function is basically function is basically entity that implements some set of work. Like for example, if I say public static void main and string args, and we just want to say this. So this is a main function. This is the name of the function, right? This is the name of the function. What is function? Function is a, see, Java is object oriented programming, right? It works in classes and objects, right? It kind of works in functions. It kind of works in classes and objects. As I said, classes are templates and objects are the physical entity of that template. Here there is a important concept of functions as well. Now what is function? Function is basically, like for example, suppose I'm a Rohan. I have a function that I can play volleyball, right? I play good volleyball. So it's kind of my function, right? I can do that set of work. I can play volleyball, right? Maybe you have different sports. You might not have that function, right? You might not be able to play that volleyball that good, right? As I can play. So playing volleyball is my function, right? It does some set of work, right? Playing volleyball is a function. Suppose function ka name is play volleyball, and inside that function what I'm doing is that I am smashing, I'm lifting the ball and everything. So these are some set of work that are happening inside that function, right? That's what we do over here as well. And these functions comes under the class, right? These functions comes under the class to be implemented, like human class. That playing volleyball ka function would come inside the human class, then only like I can use my hands only if I am from the human class, right? Understand? You're getting it? So yeah, this is the thing, right? You can implement functions only inside a class, right? So it's like this was the basic example that I can show you the working of function. And what is this main function? So basically your compilers start implementing the code when it meets this main function ka line. Before that line your compiler will not run the code. Like suppose you kind of make a function, you don't make this main function, you make a public void and main function, and that's it. If you do this, no, your compiler will not run. See, the running button is disappeared over here. But once you made this main function, like this main function, see, the running button is appearing over here. So even IDE knows that main function is important to run the code, right? That's why IDE is important nowadays. It will help you getting less number of errors, so that the whole process of learning Java does not get overwhelming for you guys. That was I was discussing about. The main function is a function that from where the compiler starts running and start implementing your code. What is compiler? Compiler basically checks, suppose, let's see, system.out.println, and here I'm gonna write hello and world, right? Now compiler doesn't know the system out println, it doesn't know that, right? But there is a particular binary code referring to this capital S, right? There is a particular binary code referring to this capital S, and once the compiler will come to this S, it will convert this capital S into that binary code, so that computers can understand what I want to tell them. Got it? Now these functions like this system class and out variable and this println function, what these terms are, I'll discuss in a while. Don't worry. This is just a function to print the things written inside it, and it returns the string value, as you can see over here as well. You can press control and you can left click on it, and then you can see what the things are returning over here. Like as you can see here, register system class contains several useful class fields and methods, and it cannot be instantiated among the facilities provided the system class are standard. You can read like documentations, like Java has a good documentation written inside it. You can read about every inbuilt functions and classes inside it only using like control and left click. Cool. You don't need me for that, but I will explain definitely what the system out println is, and it is returning the string value. What is a string? You don't know right now. If don't know the kind of data type, I'll explain everything later on. So this was the basic syntax of your Java programming. You need to first write the public class hello world. There is one more term, that is like package and things. You kind of define package where this class is there, right? Where this class exists. Package is basically a folder. So you kind of just write com dot suppose rohan .com is a folder. Inside that folder there is a rohan folder. Then inside that folder, suppose there is a java dsa ka folder, and inside that folder this file stays. So com.rohan.java.dsa, com is a folder. Inside that folder there is a rohan ka folder, and then inside that rohan folder we have a Java DSA folder, and that Java DSA folder contains this hello world ka class is what defining over here by this line. So we don't need this line right now. We will just implementing this classes and things like that. So this was your basic first code, that is of hello world, and now I will just walk you through the things and notes I have written over here, right? The internal implementation of Java. So Java source code is the first point. That's what I said over here. As you can see here, that this is a source code that you written over here. This public class hello world, public static void main, and system.out.println hello world, and these colon braces and everything, these colons and these braces, everything is written is source code. Code source. Just reverse it. Source code, right? Source of code. That's it. Is source code. These things, these codes you have written over here, this is source code, right? Because it is written in your native language, that is English, right? Now, as you can see here as well, developers write Java programs in plain text files with a java.extension. As I said here, whenever you are making a new file, like hello world, main, and whatever new file, you need to use this .java extension to let compiler know that, okay, this is Java file and code written inside this file is like written in the Java. So as I have mentioned over here as well, developers write Java programs in plain txt file with a Java extension, and these source code files contain classes and methods. Classes and methods. Methods are functions. Cool. Methods are just a different name of the functions, right? So classes and functions are those things that will be contained by those files. Okay, inside those functions there would be variables and constants and data types. So that is different section of discussion that define the program's logic. Program's logic is what you want to implement certain feature by that program, by that code. So there would be a logic for that feature, right? And that would be inside those functions. And like suppose you want to implement a calculator, right? In the end of the video we'll see how you can, or maybe I will make another video on that how to make a calculator using the Java programming and things, using all those basic knowledges that I would share in this video only. So as I was saying you that suppose you want to implement a feature called calculator, and you want to take two numbers from the user, and then you can use different operators to make different operations on it. So you would have like some functions that can add those two numbers. You can write some functions that can subtract those two numbers, divide those two numbers, find modulo, and things like that. So this was one. Another point is that functions and classes is something that our Java source code deals with. Now the compilation, as I said you, JDK helps you in compilation. There is a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. It's a virtual machine that checks your code, changes the code into the machine code, and let the computers understand that, okay, this developer, this person wants you to do this. That's it. JVM is that only. Okay? JVM is nothing much. JVM is a key component in the internal implementation of Java. It's responsible for executing bytecode on different platforms. Bytecode are 010101. Component internal implementation of Java responsible for executing bytecode on different platforms, and Java interprets and compiles bytecode into the native machine code, and depending on the JVM implementation. As I said, JVM is the one which converts, compiler contains JVM, okay, and that JVM converts the source code into the machine. That's it, right? Then we have different things. You can read about it. I'm not going to get into the much detail over here. I was just showing you the basic implementation how Java works. So Java works in such a way that you write kind of source code. Compiler that contains JVM will come into the picture, and that will convert that source code into the binary code, and then computer will understand that binary code, that is 010101, and then after understanding those binary codes, it will just return you the value that you want them to do, right? If it is practical, right? You can't say that computer, go cook for me. So it is not something that will, be done by the computers. But yeah, if it is practical, then they will definitely return you a particular value. Now you can read these things. I'll provide the link inside the description. You can check it out, check that out from there. Else everything we will see in the IntelliJ and understand there, like whatever, like what are the things that we need to understand. I talked about the internal implementation, how things work. I let you write your first Java code, that is a hello world. Now let's see the variables and constants and functions and conditionals, loops, whatever it is. We'll see everything over here only. We'll make different files for it and we'll check that how things work internally. I told you about packages. I told you about that main function. Compiler starts executing your code and checking your code from main function only. And if this main function doesn't exist in your file, in your Java file, your program will not be run, right? So let's kind of just get in the main function and just remove this one. Okay, so this is a main class. This is a class name as a human class. We are the entity of the human class. We are Rohan, Shohan, whatever. The main class. These are the entities of the main class, right? This is the main function, and everything that you want to be executed, you have to write inside the main function, right? And if you want to, okay, I'll talk about it in the functions ka section. So everything you understood till yet, everything you want to be executed, you have to write inside the main function only, right? You can't say ki I'm gonna make some another function. Suppose public void and inside this function I just want to say hello, I am Rohan. This will not be executed. If you run this code now, if you save this one and then just run this one, it will not be executed, right? Let me show you. It is not returning anything, right? But if you call this function over here, and yeah, so it's like that. We can call this function inside this function. Now what is the static and public and void? You don't need to get into this right now because this is a part of OOPS. And if you want me to teach you a lot of different topics as well, you can definitely let me know in the comment section. I'll help you out with that as well. Here we are just calling the function. Like suppose I play volleyball, I am calling this function to hit smash, right? I'll call that inside our main function, that is my body. I'll call that. I'll get my hands up and I'll then hit the ball. That is the main. That is the function calling, right? I'm calling that smash function. That okay, get the smash function and hit the ball, right? So that is what we are doing over here as well. If you don't call this function, it will not be executed because you called this function over here in the main function, right? Compiler will start checking your code from here. It will get here. It will meet the main function. It will say okay, inside this body, inside this method, whatever the body of the code written over here, we need to execute it. It will come here. It will check this function ki okay, Rohan is a function and I have to execute it. Now see whether this Rohan exists or not. It will come out of this main function and check that okay, there is a function called Rohan and it prints something. What prints? Hello, I'm Rohan, and it returns this print statement. It will return this and then it will come to here and it will execute it. So now if you kind of just save it and run it, you can see that something will be there inside your terminal. Let's see. See here, hello, I'm Rohan, right? So main function is important to execute the code, and whatever the another function that you will make. So this is a function, as you can see here, this is a function that does set of work. does what? Does print a statement that is hello, I'm Rohan. So yeah, this was about functions. And functions and methods. Functions are just a synonym of method, you can say. Functions are just another name of methods, you can say. So you can say method or functions, whatever it is. So then we call this function inside this main function. I call this this match function inside my volleyball ka function, that is main function, and then we hit that ball, right? So that is how we are doing over here as well. Okay, cool. Now let's discuss about different aspects of coding, right? Let me delete this one and just delete this one as well. Okay, suppose you let's discuss about the variables, and first let's discuss about the variables. Okay, what are the variables? If you're from math background, or everyone have studied maths sometime in their life, in 8th or 9th or somewhere, if you remember it, you might have familiar with this variable thing, constant and variables, right? There is a constants and variables. Constants are fixed values, and variables are something that is variable, that can change, right? Variables are something that can change, and constants are something that are fixed value. If you define the constant once, it is fixed now, right? You can't change it again, right? If you are defining a variable, it can change and it can refer to different constant values. Now suppose now let's see why we use this constants and these variables and these everything. Suppose you want to store, you are making a project, you are making a project, and you want to store a particular value inside your memory. Okay, you want to assign a particular value inside your memory, and you, like, suppose you want to store 5 inside your memory. How are you going to do it? You're going to do it in such a way that you will take a particular space in your memory. Okay, you will give name to that space inside your memory, and then you can put that value inside your memory, inside that space, whatever you took. Why are you giving name to that space? So that compilers can know, computers can know, okay, this place name, or this place has this name, and this place contains this particular value, so that in future if you want to reuse that value, you can do it easily by referring to that name only. Like suppose me, Rohan, okay, I want to store, I want to get stored inside the memory, right? Then how would I do it? I will make a home inside a memory. Okay, I'll go there, I'll construct a home, then I'll say, okay, this is my home, this is Rohan's home, and that Rohan's home is something that we will refer again inside our project whenever we need it. That is what the same thing happens with the variables as well. Cool. If you can see, let me show you how to do it. Okay, how to store a particular value using the variables inside the memory, so that you can use it later on. Suppose you want to add 2 things, add 2 numbers. Okay, how would you want to do it? You can do in such a way that you can say, okay, we have this system.out.print.ln, and we want to print this 5.5 plus 7. This is a particular value. This is a particular value. We are using it. But when we would want next time again we want to use this 5, it will again store that same value inside the memory. But if we refer a particular name to that value and store it inside the memory, then next time when we use that value, we can just refer to that name. Okay, we can just refer to that name. So if we do it something like this, that we kind of say int a is equals to 5 and int b is equals to 7, and then we just say a and b. So now this is much better way to implement your code in such in this way, right? Why so? Because this was the value that you wanted to store inside the memory. This is the name of the variable. Okay, you are assigning this variable to this value, or you can say you are assigning this value, this variable, and then you are storing inside a memory so that you can use it later on. As you can see here, we are using this later on as well. Now if we want to print, suppose a minus b, we can use it as well, right? This is the main concept of variables and things. Now what is this int? This is a data type. This is nothing but a data type. Let me show you what data types are. So basically data types are there are data and types of data. That's it. These are some pretty self-explanatory terms that I don't think I need to explain you guys that what are data types? Types of data, right? There could be different types of data. What could be different types of data? There could be number type of data. There could be characters type of data, words type of data, text type of data, true, false data, things like that. There could be long data, which contain long numbers and things. So we have, certain type of data types like int. I'll discuss about everything. Long, then boolean, then double, then what else? String, char, and yeah, these are some of certain data types like 3 and 36, I guess. Float and short. Okay, these are some 8 primitive data types. Primitive means predefined data types, right, which are defined by Java already, that you can use to define variables, as well as you can define the return type. You can see a void means there is no return type inside this main function because this is just executing the code. But if you are kind of make a function public static, suppose you are calculating sum, so you make this name of sum function, and it is basically taking a int a and int b. These are parameters that I will talk to you about inside the functions and things. So this a and this b. Now I would just say return type to be int, because this is returning the sum of these two numbers, and then just we will return this a plus b, right? What is this return statement? It just returns a particular value from this function regarding this function, right? That if compiler will come to the function this sum, this sum function will say, okay, I'm returning this a plus b value. That's what this return statement does, right? Okay, so these were the data types that are inside the Java, that are predefined data types. Primitive data types is also a term that we use in Java, that these are the predefined data types. And this is int. Int basically is a data type that says, okay, our variable value is of integer type. Cool. This long is basically says that this is of long number. Like suppose there is a range of every data type. There is a range of every data types. Like for integer, it's like minus 2 raised to the power 32 to 2 raised to the power 32, right? Similarly, if you want to use numbers outside that range, you can use long. If you want to assign some true false value, suppose true value or false value, you can use boolean, right? Boolean is for true false and things like that, right? If you want to use let me write it over here. This basically stores value or stores integral values from minus 2 raised to the power 32 to 2 raised to the power 32. Integral values for booleans, it's like stores true and false. For double, it's like stores values in double digit after the decimal. A string is a text value, that is some statements or whatever in this text form, like suppose Rohan and whatever. And okay, this char is a character, it stores a char value like R and T and whatever it is, right? Some special characters as well. Float is just a decimal only, but it will take it to 1 digit after decimal. That double will be taking you to the 2 digits after the decimal, right? So these are some of the data types, and you can read more about these data types from the official documentation of Java. And yeah, these were about the data types. It basically says that okay, this variable is of this type, this variable is storing a value of this type, and this was the name of variable. Variable is what? Is a container which contains a particular value to it and stores that value inside a memory, so that we can use that container again when we need it. Cool. That was about the data types and things. Yeah, we are pretty much done with the data types and variables and constants and everything. Now conditionals and loops, what these terms are, and then we will move on to the functions and methods and things. Okay, conditionals. What is conditional? What are conditionals? In real life, if you want to see the example of conditionals, I would say that suppose you have to take a decision on something. Basically, conditional statements are used to make decisions. It's nothing much, right? It's about making a decision that okay, if this situation comes, do this. If this situation comes, do this. If this situation comes, do this, right? Now there are certain conditional statements that are used inside the Java that is predefined, and we are going to check that out. So first one is if else conditional, then there is if else if conditional, right? Then there is switch case conditional. Cool. If else, and then switch case. Now let me show you how we can implement these. What are the syntax of these conditionals, and then we will just move on to the next part, that is loops. Cool. Now suppose I say that there is a variable of int data type that contains 23 or 34. See, A is already defined, that's why we cannot redefine the variables, because once you are making a particular name, that's what happens here as well. Here, if you kind of store constant inside the memory, you can store whatever amount of constant of the same value as you want. But if you're assigning a particular name or variable to it, you cannot redefine it. You can change that value, right? You cannot redefine the value. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, now I'm just going to say that okay, we have a variable a that contains just 34 value, and I'm gonna check whether this a is greater than 54 or not. If it is the case, if a is greater than 54, this basically returns the true value only. That if this statement will be true, then only it will implement the code inside that body. Otherwise, just do this. If a is not greater than 54, then just print here yes it is, and else print no it's not. Okay, if it is greater than it, which is not true, this statement is not true, then this will be printed, right? If I do it something like this, then this statement will be printed. So this is what the basic syntax of if else conditional is. It says basically if this condition is true, implement this, else implement this, right? This was the if else conditional. Now let's see our if conditional. Suppose we want to say that if a is greater than 54, just print yes it is, else if a is equal to 54, just print it is equal, right? Else if those cases does not meet the required condition, then just do what? Just print no, it's not. As simple as that, right? This is how our LF condition works. Conditional are just to take decisions, and some people also say that AI nowadays are also using this AI conditional statements a lot, which is not true. AI is not based on conditional statements that okay, if you ask this, give this, otherwise give this. It's not like that. There are a lot of things implemented behind AI. Now the last case is switch case, right? How the switch case works, let's see. Suppose we want to say that we have a B, and we kind of just say we just declared this variable, and we want to say that switch B when we just say something like 4, and we say switch B, we kind of give cases to it. Case 1, that is B equals to 4. Case 1, that is B equals to 1. This is basically showing you the value of this B, right? If case, this is a particular case that okay, if B is equals to 1, just print suppose Monday or something, right? Otherwise, and then just break the statement. So inside the switch case and switch case statements, basically there are 3 things that you need to keep in mind. That one is switch, case, and break, and continue. Okay? Break condition basically says ki if this is the case, implement this code and then just break the statement. If we say continue, if we say here continue, it will keep on checking for other cases as well. But here it is just showing error that you can't use this continue statement. because this is the required, this is not the required condition that meets. So yeah, this is what it is. Now we can say that if this is the case, then just print Tuesday and break the condition, break the statement. Then we can say that if case 3, then just print Tuesday, Wednesday and break the statement, and then again we can say that case 4 system.out.println and Thursday, suppose. So basically what is happening over here, that it will check for this b value whether this b is equals to this, this or this, and whatever it will be, this b value will be equal to, it will just implement that code only. It will just implement that code only, right? That is how our switch case works. These were the 3 conditional statements that we kind of use in general, and yeah, that is what it's all about. And now let's talk about the loops. Okay, what are the loops? See, we have 3 types of loops in general in Java, right? One is while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Cool. It is also known as the iteration, and we use loops to do what? To do a repetitive work. Like suppose you want to print a particular number from, or you want to print a particular number for 5 times. Like suppose you have a number that is num, and that is 34, and you are kind of want to print that num 5 times. You can do it via, writing the same statement for 5 times. This is something that you can do. But suppose if you want to print this num for 1000 times, how would you do that? Implementing the same statement again and again would be the vast thing to do. Instead, we use loops. So we kind of loops come into the picture here, that if you want to do the same repetitive thing, that you want to do something that is, being repetitive again and again, that at that point of time we use kind of loops. We have 3 loops. One is while loop, then another one is a do while loop, and then we have for loop. Cool. Let's see the basic implementation of and syntax of each loop. I'm not gonna get into details. I'll just show you the detail. I'll just show you the syntax, how things work. I'll explain you how things work. I'll not give you a lot of examples. I'll give you the basic one, right? See, while loop, do while loop, for loop. Now there would be a question in your mind that if these 3 loops does the same work, why are we using different loops? See, it doesn't it does not do the same work. It every single loop has different functionalities, and it works in different ways. Like for example, if you want to print that num for 5 times using while loop, this is how we do it. We define kind of index I that starts from 0, then we say while I is less than 5. Just keep on implementing this what, just printing num, and every single time when iteration starts, every single time when code implemented, you need to you need to increase. There is an increment operator. Okay, there are some terms as operators as well. Operators are basically, used to do some operations over the variables. Like for example, here it is an increment operator. It is basically saying that use this I variable once and then increase this value by 1. Like for example, doing this or doing this is same, right? You are basically saying ki, okay, now this variable ka value is I plus 1. Previous value was 0 and now it's like 1. So when the next time loop will start, now this I is equals to 1 now, and it will check the condition that okay, this 1 is less than 5. Rerun the loop. Then it will again print the statement. It will come over here. It will say, okay, this num value is printed. Now just assign I is equals to I plus 1 and I plus I is equals to now is 1. So now the I will be 2. Again it will go here and it will check that okay, I is equals to 2 and 2 is less than 5. Again run the loop. Then it will be 3. Then 3 is less than 5. Yeah, true. Run the loop, print the statement. Then 4. Then when it will be 5 now, when it will get 5, then at that point of time, this loop will stops running. Otherwise, if this statement will not be here, your loop will keep on running and your system will hang, right? Your memory will be full. But we want to stop it at particular time, and we want to at particular condition, and that condition is that condition is here. That every single time when you are running the loop, we are increasing the value of I by 1, and then you are checking the condition whether it is less than, whether it is the required condition or not. If it is, the value is true, run the loop. If it is not, just close the loop and get out of that loop. Cool. This was the basic syntax of while loop. You kind of first define the pointer that you will use inside this while loop, and then you kind of define, we write this while, we then give a condition over here, we write method body over here, we write a code body over here. Then in the end, we just increase that value using increment operator. You can write it as this as well, or you can just say that I plus plus. Cool, this is an increment operator. If you would want, you can search it on Google as well. I'm not gonna give details about it in here. You can write it, you can search it on Google. Video is getting large, that's why. Now let's see about the do while loop. Okay, it does the same thing. It does not like a different thing, but it totally depends on the usability. Sometimes while loop will be more efficient, sometimes do while loop will be more efficient, sometimes for loop will be more efficient. So it's totally on your usability, where you want to use the loop and what you want to use the loop for. So it's like that. Now let's see the do while loop, what it does. A do while loop is basically does nothing but it says ki do this while this. That's it. Here you're gonna give condition. You're gonna say suppose I is less than 5, and here you just want to say that print our num, and then you want to say कि यहाँ पे you want to increase the operator. That's it. Increase, you want to use increment operator, and you want to increase the variables of that value of that variable by 1. It will check the condition over here, right? Doing the same thing, it's first writing the writing the thing, then checking the condition. It's first checking the condition, then implementing the code, right? That's where the scenarios come into the picture. That different scenarios, in different scenarios you use different type of loops, and the more efficient and more clean loop syntax is for loop. So if you want to do the same thing in the for loop, no, you just write for, and you kind of define the pointer variable over here and assign it from 0, and just say the I should be less than 5, and just say that what I plus plus, and this is it. Just do it J. So this was it, right? Here it says that this is a place where you define your pointer. Okay, this is the condition, and this is the increment place. Here your pointer will be incremented by 1 every single time, and inside this function, just inside this loop, you just write that num, just print num. That's it. This looks more clean. When you want to print numbers, you're going to use this for loop only, because using while loop and do while loop over there would be not the efficient one. So for loop is something that you will use every single time when you want to print the numbers in any questions, right? This was about loops, right? I know that there are some of the things that I'm keeping very fast because the video is getting long. If you would really want now and you will show the support, I will create different sorts of videos for different topics and different concepts, so that I can explain everything in better form. But for that, you need to share this video, comment in the comment section that you need it, and then I will definitely create it, right? So yeah, in this video I was just letting you know, and letting you start with the Java programming, and explaining you different things, that how things work. And I kind of I have defined and I have discussed the things mostly. And yeah, now let's discuss about functions. What are the functions I have already defined? I have taught you the functions as an entity that implements set of features or set of codes or whatever it is. Like over here you can see that sum function, sum is the name of the function, implementing this, that it is returning a plus b, sum of two variables. What is this? Public access modifier, static, you don't have to get into the detail. Int is a return type. You can define different data types over here in the place of int. And if you're just printing something inside that function, you can say void here, as you can see here as well. In the main function, we are using this void return type over here. It just says that this function main is not returning a particular value of particular data type, but instead it is just printing all those values and executing the values. That's it, right? Here inside this function, we have this return type as integer, and it basically says that it is this function returns the integer type of value, right? That is true. That is returning a plus b, which is of integer type. Suppose we have a is equals to 5, b is equals to 7, then this function will return 12 as a value, right? Now what is this int a and int b, and why we defined it over here? This is the basic function body. This is the basic function body. You write kind of functions inside the main class, and then you call that function in the main function to be executed, right? If you will not call this function inside the main function, it will not be executed. There would be no point to write this function, right? So you need to call this function inside the main function, because then only compiler will execute it. It will not get executed on its own. It depends on the main function to be executed. So it's like that. And functions basically does some set of work. You define whatever you define. It takes parameters. This is the parameters, this is the parameters that, okay, I'll take a value, a b value, which is of integer type. And whenever you will call this function, now suppose you are calling a function over here, you need to pass those a and b values. Suppose I pass 3 and 5 as a and b. You need to pass those a and b values as an argument. Here it is an argument, here it is a parameter. Cool. Parameter can be anything of string type, of whatever type, doesn't matter. It can be of anything, any data type. But then when you're calling this function inside the main function or wherever you're calling this function, you need to pass the same argument that this function takes as parameter, right? You need to pass those arguments. So here, this 3 and 5 are arguments. Arguments are just the values of those parameters, right? And here, this is int and int a and int b is parameter of that function, that this function will take these values. Then only this is so obvious now. If it will not take this a and b value, how would it return this a and b ka sum? It will not be able to do that now. If you are not providing your particular value in here, it will not be able to return this a plus b. So that's why the function takes parameters. It can be empty as well if you want to just say that I don't want to pass the parameters, I just want to define my variables here only. Then you can do that as well, like this. You can define it and then you can just remove the arguments from it. And when you call this function, but now here what happened was that now you will not be able to pass different values whenever you're calling the different functions. If you call the same function again, it will do the return, it will return the same value again. But if you are passing a parameter here, like this, and int b, and if you are passing 3 and 5, and here if you are passing 3 and 9, then these two same functions taking different arguments and taking different parameters will return the different values. That is why parameters gets important. This was about the functions, and methods are the same. Functions, other name of the function is methods. So yeah, this was about it. I have talked about the various aspects of programming. See, this Java, this tutorial, I have discussed everything from like installing your editors and everything to functions and methods body and everything. We discussed about main function, main class, and different functions, loops, conditionals, variables, data types, and constants. Internal implementation. These were the pointers that were discussed inside in our tutorial, right? Now, if you really want me to create new, new videos on different topics, and you want me to teach you different DSA topics as well, you can definitely let me know in the comment section. You can reach out to me on my different social media handles as well for your personal doubt and one-to-one mentorship as well. So yeah, this was it about tutorial, and yeah, see you in the next video. Till then, learn and explore on your own. Cool. Bye bye.